In abusive relationships, there may be domestic violence is committed. Vera Pekhteleva became one of the victims of these crimes. Vera Pekhteleva was a 23-year-old Russian student at Kemerovo State University in Russia. She was a successful student with a bright future ahead of her. Vera had a very good relationship with her family, especially with her mother, Oksana Pekhteleva. Vera shared everything with her mother. She knew about her relationship with the future killer Vladislav Kanyus. Even though Oksana didn't approve of the relationship, Vera wouldn't give up on Vladislav. He had even moved into her apartment, and they had started living together. Vera had ignored the problems for a long time. Perhaps she had started to see Vladislav's true colors and no longer wanted to continue the relationship. She packed a few of her belongings and moved into the dorm. Things were starting to fall into place for Vera until she called her ex-boyfriend to pick up her things. January 13, 2020. Vera set out to her ex-boyfriend's house to pick up her belongings. She wanted to get them quickly and return to the dorm. But Vladislav locked the door and subjected her to 3.5 hours of a torture. Vera's screams were heard, neighbors hearing her desperate cries for help repeatedly called police. In the morning, the screams became more and more. Her voice was louder and louder, begging for help. Vera trying to flee from the flat, but each time he pulled her back. Neighbors called the police 7 times, but they never came. Neighbors knocked on the doors demanding to open them. They finally managed to open the door and enter the apartment. But it was too late for Vera. They found her dead, strangled with the cable of an iron rod. He stabbed her 56 times, and there were 111 injuries on her body. July 2022, a court in Kemerovo sentenced Kanyus to 17 years in prison for the brutal murder of Vera Pekhteleva. Also, 5 officers were found guilty of causing death by negligence and were sentenced to 18 months in jail, suspended for 2 years. At the time, police said there were no officers or patrol cars in the area to attend. Although Vera's family felt that the sentences given were not sufficient, they were somewhat relieved knowing that their daughter's killer was in prison. Oksana Pekhteleva received a message in April. A message with photo. She was shocked to see Vladislav in a military uniform. Vladislav had joined the Wagner Group. And he had been released from prison. The Wagner Group is a private military company, PMC, with close ties to the Russian government. It has been involved in various military operations around the world, often aligning with Russian foreign policy interests. Women's rights activist Alyona Popova said that prison authorities confirmed Kanyus' transfer to Rostov in southern Russia, bordering Ukraine. She shared a letter from the Russian Prosecutor General's office dated November 3, stating that Kanyus had been pardoned, and his conviction was expunged by a presidential decree on April 27. Oksana is heartbroken and blames Putin for pardoning her daughter's killer. How could a cruel murderer be given a weapon? Why is he sent to the front to defend Russia? He is scum. He is not a human being. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov defended the policy, saying that Russian prisoners sent to fight in Ukraine are atoning for their crimes with blood. Is it fair for someone who has committed such a sadistic crime to be pardoned? Share your thoughts in comments.